lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome to sunny Southern California in the Davis Brothers Roofing Sunday Night NASCAR Clash at the Coliseum. George Passo and David Modespa up in the booth with you. Zach Woods up in the booth with you. Sorry, I was expecting Dave. Zach, how are you doing tonight?
Good. It's great to be up here with you. We're certainly going to get a great show tonight with these big, heavy stock cars at this really tiny racetrack. We're going to see a lot of fenders crunkled by the end of this one. I'm excited to call this with you.
I'm excited to have you call this one with me. You and I haven't worked together enough as of late. Let's just put it that way.
I think we've been only able to do one race together here on SRM, so I'm excited to get the ball rolling here with you. Certainly going to be a dramatic one here at the Coliseum. Again, this is short track racing at its finest, a quarter-mile flat track with, no rules, it seems. These guys are going to come out of her swinging.
Well, it kind of holds true to what we saw earlier today in the real-world counterpart of this race. During the practice session, a few drivers got into it with each other of, hey, I don't like that anymore, and you're going into the wall. But interesting format tonight. We're doing heat races, something we normally don't see here in the Davis Brothers Roofing Sunday Night NASCAR Series. And before I forget, we do need to thank our good friends over at Davis Brothers Roofing, considering that they've been around since 1983. They are now celebrating their 40th year in business. Davis Brothers Roofing, if you're in the Middle Tennessee area, they are, you need to, ouch. Davis Brothers Roofing, who you need to go to if you for all your roofing and construction needs. But only a couple minutes left here in the hot lap session. Again, taking a quick look at the format tonight. We are going to be doing heat races with the top 5 of each heat transferring into the A main. We're going to do consolation races, alphabet soup for those of you who are short track fans of ours. And then 150 laps around this place. And for those of you who are longtime NASCAR fans, like myself, Dave, or Zach, I'm sure you are as well, we've been asking iRacing for Bowman Gray Stadium. This is as close as we're ever going to get to having iRacing have Bowman Gray.
Absolutely, and it does scratch the itch, doesn't it? Where you have an extremely unique racetrack, especially again for these big, heavy stock cars, and I think that's what the community really wants to see. Kind of get back to the roots of racing, where you're able to lean on one another. It's not quite Bowman Gray, but it'll do for now.
It absolutely it will. You know, when you're at Bowman Gray, it's a high school football field. That's what that place started life as, and that's what it still is used as. You know, football game on Friday, a boxing match when a race breaks out on Saturday. That's the best way to describe Bowman Gray, also known as the Madhouse. But I'm surprised with how many drivers we're seeing here tonight. I'm counting 25 haulers back in the pit, or back in the hauler impound area. So this place is going to get jammed up quickly. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, with the track being only as big as it is, we're going to see separation between the guys that get it and the guys that don't fairly quickly, especially when we get to the feature of this thing where these drivers are going to start running over one another very quickly. I'm also taking a look through the field, something that is unique, at least in my time here, Tony, of covering leagues on Sim Racing Media, is you do have a nice healthy blend of all car manufacturers, which is a bit refreshing for a NASCAR league. So good on these guys to get a nice healthy mix here in the field.
Yeah, this is one of the leagues that it's about as evenly matched between the 3 current manufacturers as you can get. As the hot lap session getting ready to wind on down here, getting ready to click it over for qualifying. It's the usual suspects at the top of the pile. Alex Murray, Nicholas Breidenbach, RJ Root. You know, all those guys still up towards the top. We got some new names joining the Cup Series this year. So it's going to be fun to see how this one does shake out. As we are going to bring up ye old timing tower to see who's going to be the first one to try to set one here. And it looks like it's going to be Travis Krahenborg in the 21. A little bit of lockup going into 1 after taking the green. So that's probably, this is going to be a throwaway lap for him. But there's a couple different lines I was seeing earlier as Alex Murray goes right to the top of the pile, wastes absolutely no time. There is Murray in the 40. Jeremy Miller now bumps him off. Sean Rogers goes 4th quick on his second lap and immediately gets bumped down. Aiden Hill, times are coming in hot and heavy now. RJ Brute sets quick time and biffs it to start his second lap. 1 and done for RJ. Tanner Marty out on track. There he is in the 73. Jeff Carson with us again. Joe Stafford, one of the perennial favorites, currently sits 2nd quick. Seba Cornez goes 5th quick on his flyer. Oh, look, it's our good buddy Dave Regal in the new SRM paint.
There you go. We know that one. That'd be easy to spot up here. But you did talk about alternative lines here at this racetrack. There's quite a number of different ways, rather, that drivers can attack this racetrack. you can either really dig into the corner, get a good launch through this entry and roll through the center of the corner, or you can focus on exit where drivers really back up. Really back up.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. You really back up corner entry, and then you focus on the launch on exit. So you're going to see drivers either straddling the paint, really get their get their left side wheels rather on the paint and try to maneuver that way. Or, as we've seen in real life NASCAR, if you're gutsy enough, you can try to get all four wheels below that white line, really roll through the center of the corner. But you have to get that baby woed up a little bit and hope you don't get ran over.
And just something to keep in mind tonight, Chad Sanner in the 3 is going to be scored as the 59. Don't ask me why, but that's just the way it is.
Well, it's all news to me, being first time out looking at this league. So I'm trying to get as used to new names and new numbers as I can here in our qualifying session. This is, they're coming at us quick here tonight, as you were saying earlier.
Absolutely. John Crow Sr. on track right now. One and done for him. Lawrence Jones in the Cheetos 11 out there. Randy Spivey starting to roll. But the biggest thing, and what I've noticed some of the fast guys doing, let's see what type of lap Spivey's going to do. Yeah, he's diving it in low to begin with and just trying to get that car to rotate. That was Jones. Spivey in the double deuce, arcing it. And taking a little bit of a late apex. Could not get that car to rotate. And that's going to be the biggest key. Lock up and bang into the safety barrier.
Yep, you have to manage your brakes really well. It's really important for these drivers to do that and get that concept sooner rather than later. Pedals that have some feedback with them will certainly help. So if you are the kind of driver that's like me, that's running the cheapy stuff, you're definitely going to struggle here tonight.
Now I'm in the same boat. Nicholas Breidenbach coming down for his second lap. Gave some away in that second flyer. Still goes 8th quick, though. And it looks like that is going to do it for guys that are going to try to lay time. Take a quick look at our weather coming into tonight. As that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. About 7:30 in sim time. 8-mile-an-hour winds, but you've got grandstands all the way around this piece. These guys are not going to feel that wind that's whipping up around this joint right now. 71-degree ambient air temperature, 71-degree track temperature, 26% relative humidity. These engines are going to be making gobs of horsepower tonight, as we've got just about 5 minutes left here in the qualifying session. There we go. As looks like Corey Burkett going to be the next one to try to lay a time here. And for some odd reason, no sponsors on that car. So if you're looking to sponsor a ride this season, that would be who you need to go to. But
yeah, absolutely.
You know what? While I'm thinking about it, while we got a little bit of a lull here, we do want to again congratulate our friends over at Davis Brothers Roofing for celebrating their 40th anniversary of being in business this year. They were founded back in 1983. So let's step away and hear from our good friends at Davis Brothers Roofing. We're going to go side by side, so if anybody else goes out for qualifying, we're going to not miss it. We'll be right back.
Davis Brothers has been providing homeowners and businesses with exceptional roofing services since 1983. From repairing roofs on small homes to installing new roofs on large commercial retailers, no job is too big or too small. Your home is an important part of your life, and your roof is an essential part of your home. We understand that. Whether you're inspecting, repairing, or replacing a roof, we'll treat your home like it's our very own. Low slope, steep slope, big or small, it doesn't matter. We do them all. And remember, we have the capabilities and the manpower to take on any size job. When it comes to your roof, it's important to be proactive. Choose an experienced roofer you can trust. At Davis Brothers Roofing, we are your experienced roofer. Contact us today for a consultation and let us earn your trust.
What's up, guys? Roger Debo, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
And we are back at, we normally call Bristol the last great Coliseum, but I don't know if we can say that in all truthfulness anymore, as we are actually in the Coliseum here in Los Angeles. The thing was built back in 1932 for the Olympic Games, and I mean, such a hallmark of different football games, and the '84 Olympics were last here, so this place has such storied history, and even in racing, it has some storied history. Zach, I don't know how old you are or young you are, but I remember back when I was growing up, they used to have the Mickey Thompson off-road races here at the Coliseum, and they used to have uh, where you can see the clocks at the one end of the stadium. They used to race the trucks and bikes and everything else up the hill, have them do a 180 up there, and then come back down through another set of openings. And I mean, it was just amazing to watch the first couple of times you see it.
That's pretty wild. And of course, NASCAR now getting their hands on it, transforming it. I love the transformation that is made now on social media about this place. The amount of work that these guys do to make this place the way it is pretty impressive. Even more so impressive that we get the opportunity to take advantage of it here on iRacing. But as you can see, we're getting ready here for our first heat race, something new for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that first heat race starting to grid up now? Maybe there we go. RJ Root and Alex Murray going to start from row number 1. Alex Princeton and Aiden Hill in row 2. Row 3 is going to be Leo Bonacasa and Chris Claude. Jeff Carson and Brian Tarnowski in row 4. And starting shotgun on the field is going to be Tanner Marty in the 73. So 9 cars going to roll it here. Top 5 immediately transfer into the A feature. As we are just waiting for the final straggler. Everybody is here, and we're getting ready to turn them loose. This can be a fun one. As 25 lap heat race. Interesting. Little bit longer than I'm used to seeing for heat races, but hey, that's normally a feature at most short tracks.
Well, that's what the big boys in Cup wound up doing today. They had a 25-lap heater and then a 50-lap last chance qualifier. So these drivers are going to try to imitate life today with this artistic performance here at the Coliseum. I'm so excited, and of course, we're gonna get all the drama we want. I'm sure diving down into turn 1.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that pace car should be peeling off. I don't know where the restart zone is here, so
It's so short, it doesn't matter.
yeah, exactly. I mean, the pace car is no sooner going to clear the racing surface. There it goes, and here we go for heat race number 1.
Green, green, green.
There is a Geico restart zone, so that's the good news. Alex Murray and RJ Root door to door going into turn number 1, beating and banging a little bit deeper back in this piece. As we're going to watch from up here so we don't get the corners screwed up. Murray currently shows the way. Root, Hill, Princeton, and Claude, your members who are currently in the transfer position. Now, Chris Claude, something to be of note here. That Dinsani, that Dinsani 10, Chris Claude, is the chief cook and bottle washer for the Davis Brothers Roofing Sunday Night NASCAR Series. And without him, we really wouldn't be here, let's put it that way.
All really excited to see these drivers try to get some consistency early on. As you look back in the field, there's drivers locking up everywhere. We talked about it in the beginning of qualifying, how finding a rhythm early, making sure you don't lock up your brakes is something that is worth developing a skill here early. We did have a pass for the lead here. Raymond Root.
RJ, yep.
Yeah, there you go. RJ Root passing Alex Murray for the lead. That was in 3 and 4 1 lap ago.
Well, we're watching this three-way battle right now between Princeton, who's in the 9 being scored as the 19. There he is. The HelloFresh 90 of Aiden Hill and Leo Bonacasa currently in the final transfer spot. And I'm hearing a lot of guys tearing up some sheet metal already.
Oh, that's just that just comes with it here as wow. There's a huge wreck on the front stretch. That's Jeff Carson. That's Brian Tarnowski, and man, we're still going
that
here.
One.
Huh?
Claude's just now getting that car pointed in the right direction. Apparently, no cautions in the heat race.
Well, as if this thing wasn't filled with enough drama, now you're going to throw in the concept of no cautions as 90s around. These guys, 69s around. Man, that was our leader, Root.
Yes, it was. Let's go back and take a look at that one real quick. Here's Root coming up on the...
Good through there.
It's going to be this lap coming into... Just overgasses it and drops right down in front of the 90. Nowhere to go. Everybody else able to avoid him. So we are now going to go back live.
That'll drop RJ back to P4. So at the very least, he went from 1st to 4th. But these drivers right now are trying to get some rhythm. Tony, we've seen a lot, and it's only been a handful of laps. But then again, here at the Coliseum, laps go by pretty quickly.
It is, as we saw Chris Claude lock the brakes up going into 1 that time by. So Aiden Hill currently in the final transfer spot in that 90. And something to be noteful of, only the top 4 are currently left on the lead lap. Let that sink in. We're lap 5 of 25. I'm sorry, 15 of 25.
Yeah.
I don't know what the heck's going on with the ticker across the top there. So let's solve that little issue. As once again, SDK and Heat Racing, they don't normally play nice. So
it's a tale as old as
let's
time.
just do it this way. There we go. There's our ticker. As we're going to pull the gap up now. Murray's out to a 6-second lead here in the closing laps as 7 to go. And only the top 4 are left on the lead lap. with Bonacasa and Marty starting to pick things up a little bit.
A big group of cars right here. This is the 73. He's your second place machine. The 45, he's sitting there in P3. They're doing okay, right? If they just mind their business, they'll be fine. Meanwhile, at 19, understands, hey, I'm back in P6. I gotta make some hay. I gotta pass these guys.
Well, that's the 90 and the 9 going after each other right now.
Yep.
Now, mind you, there's 2 9s in this race. And what we're watching is Aiden Hill and Alex Princeton, who's being scored as the 19, trying to work their way around Chris Claude right now. Claude a lap down to both of them. But they are slugging it out for the final transfer spot. Right now, Princeton has it. He wrestled it away from Hill. Hill wants it back. Gives a little bit of the chrome horn to the 19.
Well, we only have, this is the final lap. They come back pretty quickly here at the Coliseum. But ultimately, it's Alex Murray running away with this thing right now.
Absolutely. It's Murray getting the cross for the checkers. Tanner Marty is about half a lap back as we're turning 13-second laps around this joint. So Marty crosses for second, Bonacasa in third, RJ Root rebounds for fourth, and that slugfest between Princeton and Hill done and dusted.
I feel like we just ran a marathon, Tony, and we weren't even doing anything.
Yeah, exactly. Princeton getting the final transfer spot directly into the A main. So let's take another look at our starting grid for heat race number 2. Row number 1 is going to see Joe Stafford. He's going to be joined with Seba Cornez, Nicholas Breidenbach, and Randy Spivey in row number 2. Row 3, Corey Burkett and Steve Giberson. Gino Alonso and Lauren Jones in row 4. Brandon Zimmerman starting shotgun on the field in 9th. So again, 9 cars scheduled to roll it here for heat race number 2. As the field's starting to roll behind the official iRacing pace car. Again, 25 laps of scheduled distance. No fast repairs tonight. As these guys are getting ready to figure out what they've got for the 150 lap feature to happen later this evening.
We talked about manufacturer balance throughout this league. Unfortunately, there's only one Toyota in this whole field. He's sitting on the front row right now, so we'll see how this all works out.
Well,
but it's not necessarily a drafting race, and all the bumpers work just fine. So
exactly. Now, I didn't get a chance to broadcast a lot of these races last season because I was on a different league. But the one thing I do know, if Toyota's got to put their money on somebody, Seba Cornez is a safe bet. As, he might be having to serve a black flag. As Joe Stafford stacked the field up.
Yeah, there was some cat and mouse play there on the drop of the green flag. Certainly some back and forth. We talked about how the restart zone, it's small, nobody's gonna care. Well, they certainly care now.
Yeah, absolutely. Is right now the double deuce of Randy Spivey has that final transfer spot. As Cornett and Breidenbach right in front of him going door to door. Meanwhile, Joe Stafford's looking in his rearview mirror going, bye.
86 gets dumped by the 11 in the corner, but we continue on. He's still wrecking down the backstretch. That's Alonso. He's going to have to rebound well here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's not what he was hoping for. It's Brandon Zimmerman electing to not take the green in this one. Stafford 13.5. Sets quick lap of the race. Seba Cornez trying to reel him in. It's Corey Burkett right now in the final transfer spot. Steve Giberson trying to reel him in as, there we go. 20 to go as you see the tower coming up.
Again, if you're the top four here right now, you're just riding. There's no pressure. You're definitely gonna make it in. Just keep the car underneath you, hit your marks, and carry on. The same can't be said about this battle right now for fifth place. They are trying to get everything they can out of their cars every single way.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, the thing to keep in mind too, in case you're wondering why the tower is up as opposed to the ticker, the tower is more heat race friendly. The ticker is fine for the A feature or races where we don't have heat races. If we're doing heat races, the tower is the less glitchy. So that is why that is up, in case you're asking. But we continue to watch this battle for the final transfer spot directly into the A feature. And just as I say that, Seba Cornez and Nick Breidenbach starting to heat things up. Breidenbach still trying to reel in Cornez. Cornez, tons of sideways as he's trying to get back on the power. Joe Stafford already in the lap traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, he's passing that 86 machine of Alonso, who we saw sideways earlier. We did see the battle. We did. It's just action everywhere, and that's the 13 sideways. Man, it comes at you so quickly.
Yeah, I saw a car parked. I couldn't see what the number was. Well, there goes that battle, and Giberson now does have the final transfer spot.
Yeah, Giberson, I've noticed out of that 60 machine, he's been doing a really good job. Of course, he's not going to do it here, commentator's curse, but he does a really good job at really wrapping the bottom as the 22's in the fence. That's a big spot gained for the 60. He can cruise now sitting in P4.
Yeah, but Spivey cannot. As that's a 13 of Burkett, who is a lap down, trying to get that chip righted. Currently in the final transfer spot, 5 seconds to the good over Alonso. And you got to wonder what would have happened had Alonso not gotten dumped earlier.
Well, I mean, it takes one mishap for something to completely change. So we've seen drivers just put the throttle down and mess up on their own accord. That could definitely happen. So Spivey's not out of this yet. He's not out of the woods, rather, yet. So he's got to hit his marks and keep on going.
You know what? We are going to go on board with Joe Stafford as we were able to get a GoPro on his helmet before these guys started to grid. So this is what he is seeing. And you take a look, he's in second gear. His race gear is second gear. Normally you never see that.
Yeah, right on the chip all the way, right about the start-finish line. And we've seen some drivers elect to shift to get the car rolling through the center of the corner. Stafford is not. He's keeping that in second gear all the way around this racetrack, making really good time.
Well, it's hard to bet against what, results. Results speak for themselves. And right now, Stafford is putting up the result.
I like what I'm seeing now that.
Go ahead.
I like what I'm seeing out of that 57 machine on corner exit. He's not really squirrely. He's making sure that he's very patient when he gets the throttle down, and ultimately that has paid off immensely for him tonight. There's been no missteps. I don't want to give a commentator's curse, but there he goes.
Nah, go ahead. I gave it earlier a couple of times when we were covering the 24 beers in Daytona.
But here we go. Final lap here for Joe Stafford.
White flag, and he's already lapped. Again, your top four, the only four cars still on the lead lap. Spivey in the transfer spot, a lap down as Stafford crosses. Breidenbach crosses for second. Seba Cornez, Steve Giberson now coming out of fourth there. And as we mentioned, Randy Spivey already getting the transfer spot. Eugene Alonso, Lauren Jones, and Corey Burkett all going to alphabet soup. Heat race number 3 now starting to grid up. There we go. Jeremy Miller and Ryan Samuelson going to roll it from row number 1. Travis Kraberg, Kramerborg rolling from inside row number 2. He's going to be joined with John Crow Sr. John Wilco and Sean Rogers in row number 3. Chad Sanner and our very own Dave Regal in row number 4. Starting shotgun on the field. A former broadcast partner of ours, no longer with the company, but driving the Disney number 84, is Joseph Lester. Again, 25 laps, the scheduled distance in this one. And, there's some names that I wouldn't be expecting to run this deep. We're already into heat race number 3. And this is the first time we're seeing, guys like Wilco and Sanner. Shows you just how tough this track is to get around.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're going to see a lot more physicality in this heat